What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about what Tom Holland said about Spider-Man 3. I'm sure you guys saw like the headlines or saw like the quote about them, like the most ambitious, and so on, so on. So I want to read over that quote. I want to talk about if he's setting the bar maybe just a bit too high. I guess for just so everybody's like aware, like I'm very excited for this movie. I have been a fan of him as Spider-Man, of these movies, of generally what they've done with him. So I am looking forward to it. I'm not like bashing it or anything, but I am not cautiously optimistic is a tough one, but we have to be careful with a movie like this. When you set something up that's this big, and then he says something like this that kind of just adds on to it, I wouldn't say you're setting yourself up for failure, but you're setting yourself up for people to get really excited and probably put their expectations very, very high. Too high, obviously that's up to the person, right? In fact, I even talked about this kind of in a video with Degenerate Jay. We talked about if the movie's going to be too crowded, basically, for its own good. So this will kind of be like that, but I would say taking a much different spin on it. So here's what he said. Here's his full comment. I can say that it's the most ambitious standalone superhero movie ever made. What a leading sentence. You sit down and you read the script and you see what they're trying to do, and they are succeeding. It's really impressive. I've never seen a standalone superhero movie quite like it. And I'm just, again, that lucky little blank who happens to be in Spider-Man in it. I'm just as excited as everyone else to see it, let alone be a part of it. So you could take a couple things from this. Number one, I mean, he's young. He's 24. He's actually the same age as me. And I think his birthday's actually close. I'm not saying I am Tom Holland, but, we're close, right? He really seems like a genuine person. And that's not something you get with a lot of Hollywood people. Maybe he'll become that as he gets older. And I truly hope not, because he kind of seems like, in a way, like innocent. Whereas, like, when you get older, especially in Hollywood, you end up being corrupted and just you become, like, the worst imaginable people on planet Earth, right? So hopefully he stays like this. So, like, in a positive way, what I take from it is, like, I'm happy to see that he's excited about it, and I do believe him. I do not think with how he acts, with how much he's spoiled in his past, right, in like the years past, I really don't think he's like making it up. I don't think he's saying it kind of for press. I don't think Sony or Marvel went up to him and said like, "Hey, really like talk this movie up." You know what I mean? I really don't think he just talks. He just talks, and I think he's genuinely excited about what's happening. So I definitely do believe what he's saying. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be absolutely amazing. Just because even if you look at one of the examples I can think of is Hellboy, and again, I don't even think she's lying. Mila Jovovich, who I think is a really good actress. She's not in good movies, but she holds up her part in any movie she's ever been in, I believe, right? But that Hellboy movie, remember that came out, she was praising that thing left and right, saying like, oh, it'll get a following, and I think some people will like come to love it, and she loved it and all that stuff. Again, I don't think she was lying. I don't think they told her like, hey, you really got to talk this movie up because it is falling apart. I think she just genuinely enjoyed it, but that didn't make a good movie. In fact, it made one of the worst movies ever made. You know what I mean? Now, she was good, and I want to make that clear, but you know what I mean? So, and I'm not saying this is Hellboy. I'm not saying this is going to be, anywhere close to it, but those are things you have to keep in mind that, like, even, and that happens in the gaming industry, right? People that are working on a game, they can be as proud as they want of the game. The game could absolutely suck, or there could be major problems that the game could just fall apart and not be good. They can be so proud of it, they can be happy with it, but the end product just isn't there. So, and that's kind of the point. That's actually the point of this is, this is not a guarantee. This is not him like signing something with his name saying like, Tom Holland, guarantee that this movie is going to be like a perfect film, like a 10 out of 10. And he kind of talks like that. And again, I don't think he's doing it in a malicious way at all. The other part to it is that expectation part. So when you lead with the sentence that it is the most ambitious standalone superhero movie ever made, well, we've had quite a lot of those, and a lot of them have been good, right? Some people maybe think they're getting stale, or some people maybe have never liked them and never will, right? It's not. But superhero movies aren't everybody's cup of tea. But when you lead with a sentence like that, now I don't know how many people are going to see that line. I don't know how many people are going to see this video or see the headlines that other people are saying. But when you see something like that, if you don't come at it with really what I was talking about in the first couple minutes, right? I think it's him being genuine, it's him being honest, but it's not a guarantee. It's not something that, we can be for sure of that the movie's going to be amazing. If you don't come into it thinking like that, I think you can get really high on your expectation, which again, let me finish I always cut myself off in any of these videos that I do. Your expectations can go through the roof, okay? And I don't think that's a terrible thing. I've always been one for, again, free. I've talked about this before, like freedom. You have the freedom to do whatever you want, obviously within the legal system and within laws, right? But like if you want to put your expectations on the moon and then come back and get it later, you can totally do that. I have nothing against it. I'm not going to tell you not to do it. I would maybe advise not to do it, but I won't demand it of you, right? Because it's tough. It's tough. I can see people reading that and being like, well, buckle in. Here we go. Now, I do think what he's hinting at is that Spider-Verse, is the other Spider-Men, or, however you want to say it, them coming in, the villains of different Spider-Man movies, all of this different stuff, right? Doctor Strange, maybe be like all of this stuff, or Daredevil. I mean, there's so much that can happen. I think that's very clearly what he's hinting at, because if it's just if it's like a Far From Home or even Homecoming, there's not too much there, I would say, that's like the most ambitious thing they've ever done in their lives, okay? So obviously it's going to be a step up, and again, that kind of leads into what we talked about with Jay, and if you guys didn't watch that video, definitely check out his channel, in which we basically, to sum it up, we talked about, like, is it going to be too full of people, and that's where the expectations can kind of fall apart, because if you're expecting all of this stuff and then you get it, but you get a heavily reduced amount of it, I don't know if you're going to be all that happy. You know what I mean? Even in a way, like, and this is very different, but, Pirates of the Caribbean, you guys know I'm a big Pirates guy. We all want Johnny Depp, Jack Sparrow back in the next movie. Say it happens, because there's rumors they may rehire him, all that stuff. Say it happens, but he's in like 15 minutes of it. He's not a cameo, but he's definitely not the main lead, okay? Like, what, however you want to boil that down to. I think people, including myself, would still be very, very disappointed, because we've set our expectations in a certain way. Now, I would say those are more justified, and then we would, obviously get let down, I would say. So it's tough. I mean, obviously, this is all an expectations thing. That is a very bold statement to make. Again, I'm not criticizing him, I'm not attacking. I'm not saying, like, Tom, you really shouldn't have said that. No, I joked on Twitter and said, like, wow, you really set the bar high there, Tom. I mean, that's kind of what he did. He just told people that, if you have liked the other standalone superhero movies, well, you've seen truly, if you've seen every movie on planet Earth, you still haven't seen anything yet, because you haven't seen Spider-Man 3. And again, obviously that's not exactly what he said, but, I think he's getting people, he's getting himself very excited, which I do think in turn is making other people excited. Again, it's all, I would say, in good faith or in good fun right now. We haven't seen anything on it yet. We haven't seen the movie yet, right? Things could go south very quickly. Things can go up, north, I guess. Is that a really thing? When you say things can go south, can you say things can go north? I don't think you do that, but things can go very well as well. I don't want to say, this movie is just doomed and the only thing that can happen with this movie is it'll let people down. I do think there is a chance that it can pull it all off and be, like, absolutely incredible, okay? We just have to wait and see. So let me know, guys, in the comments below. What do you think? What do you think about that statement? What do you think about the movie? Let me know. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed to this channel. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when all of these videos go up. And I do a brand new video on this channel every single day. And so I hope to see you guys for tomorrow's video.